Back to Amped in the AM on the Real Talk Radio Network. I'm Tabitha Hassel with Steve Belko and producer Dan. I feel like we're deja vuing here.
Nobody knew what
Nobody
happened.
knew, but they're going to know now.
Nobody knew.
We had a little mishap.
We did.
And things like that happen. And so we have a full studio, folks. We have a lot of people in the studio, which is nice. It's like, I feel like we're having a party, which is really great. If you're on our Facebook live stream or Cloud Hub, you can see everybody. Otherwise, you're going to hear them. We have Beth Dean and Frank Zykan for the Wright City School Board candidates here.
Yes,
and
good morning.
Good morning. So glad to have you guys in, because as we know, school boards are so important. We have Isaac Ovchinnikov. I'm going to try that again. How do you say it? You just say it for me.
It's Isaac Ovchinnikov.
Ovchinnikov.
But I had a drill sergeant
name.
who called me Alphabet Soup, so that works too.
I love that name. I love it. And you're with Shield Construction.
Yep.
And one of the things we want to talk to you about is shortages. Because in the construction field right now, there's a glass shortage. Wood is outrageously expensive.
So we're facing a lot of supply issues, as everybody already knows, and what most people think is just directly related to labor, but we are seeing a lot of raw material shortages that leads to very long delay times for materials. I think probably the worst ones we're dealing with is windows and doors at the moment.
Yes.
So they're waiting so long for components to come in that we're on literally parts hold before production hold. So we're on multiple holding periods before they even arrive to our supply houses, and then eventually to our customers' houses. So one of the big things I always stress to people is just to be patient with your contractor as well. I mean, we're facing it just like everybody else. So, and it's important to let us know ahead of time what your desires are, right, and pretty much prioritize whether you're looking more for the faster install to where we can pick a product line that has less lead times, or if you're looking for a certain specific type, a certain quality that might take a little bit longer, but ultimately it's exactly what you want for your home. So just have that conversation with your contractor, let them know what your wishes are, what your desires are, your time frame, your budget. Those are all things that can narrow down and actually help you in the long run to get it done faster.
And now, where are you guys located?
So we're based out of Chesterfield, and we typically take bids within about a 75-mile radius.
Okay, perfect. And how can people reach you?
So best way to contact me would probably just be a direct line. It would be 636-295-2951, or you can check out our website at shieldexteriors.com. But keep in mind, the exteriors is without the first E, so shieldexteriors.com.
Shieldexteriors.com.
Absolutely.
Now, how did you guys get associated? You all came together.
Correct. So we're all parents in the Wright City School District. All of us had kids in Scouts, and that's how we personally got to know each other. And then our group got together pretty much over the COVID situation towards the beginning of the school year, and that's what snowballed us to today.
And that's Frank Zykan you're hearing speaking. You are both, and you, Beth Dean, you are both running for school board in Wright City.
Yes. Yep,
so
that's correct.
what made the two of you step forward and want to be part of the school board?
Yeah, so as Frank said, we really got involved back in September due to COVID-related concerns. And then, like so many parents across the country, once we began to come together on those issues, we really began to connect the dots on some other areas of concern with public education. And so we felt that now was the time to be involved and engaged.
No question about it. And we talked about this a little bit during the break before you guys came on. It's a very pivotal point right here for conservatives, especially in St. Charles County. We have to make changes. We have to get you guys on the school board. And we're going to have you both come in next week when we have more time individually and talk to you a little bit more. But why do you feel like, where have we gone wrong in the past? Why are we seeing the problems we're having right now?
Well, I think it can all go back to the lack of participation or possibly complacency, if you will. When I attended the first school board meeting, when they were making the decision on whether they were going to mandate the mask in the schools or not, I was one of only 3 parents in attendance. And I am guilty of that myself. Prior to that, I'd never been to a school board meeting, and we quickly discovered that a lot of parents weren't involved, and it took a situation like this to get all of our attention. And then after that happened, obviously more and more of us started showing up, paying attention, and taking an active role in our children.
And now, as far as people supporting you as candidates, how can people support you? How can they find more information about each of you?
Well, I've got a website. We're both on Facebook. So my website is zykan.com, Zykan.com. And then Beth?
And my website is deanforwcfamilies.com, and I'm on Facebook as well.
Perfect. And Isaac, you as a parent, obviously this is a very important issue to you as well, and you've all three kind of joined forces. What made you more aware of school board candidates and what you need to do to make changes?
So I moved to the Wright City area a little over a year ago, and great small little community. It's growing a lot, and I've got 4 kids. I mean, I'm going to be involved in the school whether I want to or not. I mean, I love being involved in my kids' education. And one of the biggest things I discovered when I moved to Wright City is the community is awesome. We vibe really well out there, but the school board just didn't seem to have any regard for what the parents actually want. Like, they're blatantly ignored. It just gets to a point where you have an elected official and they don't listen to you at all. That kind of gives you the wrong impression, and that really screams we need to get some new people in there who will actually listen to the concerns of parents. I mean, COVID was just the tip of the iceberg. Once people got involved, there are so many more things that were discovered that are just, quite frankly, wrong, and then people are concerned.
Absolutely. And here we are, a big room of domestic terrorists, right? we're the most dangerous people, according to the FBI right now. And I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but can each of you give me one of the most important issues to you as far as running for the school board in Wright City?
Well, I would say a lot of the issues can really be boiled down to one. And like Isaac touched on, just the lack of transparency and the lack of communication. When we reached out to our existing members, we couldn't get any of them to have any sort of two-way conversation with us. And we just felt simply ignored. And I figured if they were ignoring us in one area, they were probably going to do it in the rest as well.
Yeah, and I would add there's really been kind of a breach in trust between parents and our school district over the last couple of years. So I think it's important to find ways to come together and to build back that trust and partnership between parents and the school.
How do the kids feel?
Well, my oldest son, he's 6, so he doesn't have much of an opinion beyond what his next playtime is going to be. But I mean, as far as it comes to the actual education, he loves his teachers. I love his teachers. They are amazing. They do a really good job. It's really the board that I think everyone has an issue with because they don't seem to address people's concerns whenever there is a concern.
Does all of this, I consider it like infighting, because we've had so much commotion going on at school board meetings, as should be, and it needs to happen. It has to happen. But do you think the kids notice? Do you think that they're treated differently at school, or they're having any issues at school based on parent interactions with the school board?
I'm not so sure that the kids themselves are having the issues, but I personally have made it a point to bring my son with me to some of these events. So he's in 5th grade. I figured it was important that he see how his government, his local government works, and he's gotten a little taste of that.
Yeah, because when I was in school, I had no idea what was going on in the school board. I mean, no, I don't think my parents ever went to a school board meeting. I don't even think it was ever brought up. And now it's such a hot topic and such a point of debate. And I'm so glad that we have people like you running and parents like all of you that are concerned. And Steve, you have kids in the St. Charles County school district.
Francis, how high?
That's right. I mean, it has to be at the top of all. So why is it so important that we elect the right board members?
Well, again, when you have somebody who holds elected office, they should be representing the community. And when the community reaches out with concerns, those concerns should be addressed, not ignored.
Absolutely. So, all right, guys, we only have a minute to wrap up. And I just want to touch base again. Isaac, how can people reach you?
The best way would be either call or text 636-295-2951, or you can do some research on us at my website, shieldexteriors.com.
And Beth Dean, how can people reach you to support you as a candidate?
Yeah, again, my website is deanforwcfamilies.com, or you can look up Beth Dean for Wright City School Board on Facebook.
And Frank Zykan, what about you?
Zykan.com, that's Zykan.com. I am also on Facebook.
Excellent. Because you know what, everyone, we all need to get behind you guys. And we're going to have Beth and Frank, we're going to have you guys back in. And Isaac, you're welcome to join them, however we work things out. Thanks, guys, for coming in.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.